klikni na multiple output i klikni start. To je to i čao.
Aj čao. Srećo. Hello guys, welcome to the round 7 at the Noisiel chess tournament. Today Eleyah is playing black pieces and he is playing against Sid Sultan, who has 2012. So we are about to see if he can actually score a very important win with the black pieces. Very soon they'll start with the game. I think it's around 2 minutes. So we'll start doing the comments shortly on the game. Hello, hello. Pratyu Sham Swain. Hello, welcome to the stream. We have a d4 and Eleyah goes for typical knight f6. So they might switch the game to the King's Indian. We have actually knight c3 being played by white. And here we are seeing some sort of Jobava London potentially. Black might play, Eleyah might play d5. Exactly, that's what's happening. So we have d5 on the board. And now we got bishop f4, which is a typical Chigorin variation in the queen's pawn opening. And Eleyah goes for the g6. Beside that, here also there are some ideas with a6, b5, but he goes for something a little bit different. So we are about to see very interesting game. I'm expecting maybe something like h4, which is a main line. So we have a few ones here. Welcome to the stream. I'm glad to comment around today, and hopefully Eleyah will make a win. He's a favorite. Both players are currently in the 2.5 out of 5, I think. So that is something which is generally slight information in the about them. Pay decent, welcome. 4 knights in the house. Let's see Eleyah prep. Well, unfortunately, many players are just going for d4, so we can't really see 4 knights in the house yet, but it's gonna be quite interesting as well. So white is thinking here. He's just trying to evaluate the stuff. So by the way, here there might be some h4, h5, we can have knight f3, and after bishop g7, e3 castles, bishop e2, c5. This is like a typical way how the game can actually continue, and it can be quite like normal situation, but we are about to see, like, there are some long lines here. It's usually about it's usually around equality, so that's like fine, generally speaking, for black. So if we go back, they're currently here, and we're about to see. I don't know, I didn't watch before, only 1500 going with it to be 600 next month. Okay, we have a moose, e3, bishop g7. So white is just playing very standard. There are few options here, such as, so here there's like knight b5, there's like knight f3, there's like h4. So we'll see what can happen. White is thinking. It seems like actually white is out prepared, so he kinda is not sure into this. Maybe he expected something different from Eleyah to be played, but right now it feels like there are no issues. So that is something which is I mean, it's a pretty solid opening. We can expect different ways of how the game can progress. It can be aggressive, it can be very solid. I played this as black many times, then I switched to something like a6. For example, after a6 and b5, it would be different. So over here already, so after bishop f4, like a6. That's also one of the moves. And then black goes for b5, like let's say e3, there's b5. And the game can go with even some stuff with h4 and g4. So it can completely change the aspects as well. What's your recommendation? How to handle knight b5, because it's a very annoying move. Okay, we don't have any update on the moves. So here after this, knight b5, there can be knight a6. I mean, that's actually the only move. And it stops, it's really stopping white from getting any source of forks, tactics. Then white can play h4, and believe or not, black can ignore this. He can just play bishop f5. h5 never does anything because we can just take either with the pawn or either with the knight. Like this sacrifice, it won't work because now we have bishop g6, and after they go back, now we are just like punching the attack back. So in the game, black is feeling like a very comfortable. That is something which is just like a thing over here, which can happen. Okay, so that is like one possibility over here, and yeah, that is something that can happen. So thanks for the follow as well. So knight b5 is not a problem. Like, he doesn't have to worry about that. Usual continuation here would be h4, h5, and after h4, h5, it's like typically, of course, black has to kind of play h5. He can play c6, but then I'm not really sure. This is a bit questionable. And despite computer feeling that this can be easily defended, I had this position in practice. It's not that simple. Like, white sacrificed the exchange, but he keeps the pressure under the king side, so that is a way annoying thing overall. So white is taking his time here. We can see that he's literally trying to figure out what to do, how to continue. Like I mentioned, there are so many options that can happen, and there are so many things that can happen. So we can expect a lot of the different things, various game and the lines. Okay, he goes for the knight f3. He's going for the knight f3. And after knight f3, this is very solid. White can later on play something like knight e5. Can play very solid. Like, okay, Eleyah goes short castles right away. And now we can see bishop e2 or maybe even bishop d3. Black wants to play c5, try to hit the center. The main issue with the knight on c3 here is generally that c4 is not now possible. So white can never really ruin or damage the black pawn structure around the center that easily. What is your recommendation on how to handle knight b5? We saw that. So yeah, move a6 here, like over here as well, as a very nice prophylactic way to stop knight b5, but to also prepare. So we need to take that also in the consideration as well. That is why I played if I face Jababa, but most of the time play Benoni d4 c5. Okay, that's already another opening. And now we have white just right away going for h4. Okay, this is a little bit unusual because I think that actually first h4 right away was maybe the move. But okay, the point is after h5 we'll have knight e5. And now I played this many times. Like queen d2 is the move, and here there's like c takes, bishop f5, and black fills in a very comfortably. So it's not very simple for white to, generally speaking, set up the plan, something aggressive. Are we going to see the updates on the score and the board number as well as the opponent name and their rating? Well, we didn't set it up that. So maybe I can write that in the chat. Currently there's no space for it. Maybe I can do something like this and try to make it work. Let me see. No, but we don't have that like available because there's no space, unfortunately. There's no enough space. So it's gonna remain like this most likely. Maybe I can try to by myself put it to work out. Let me try. Okay, guys, one moment. I might be available to put this somewhere, but it's gonna be a little bit tough as well. Okay, something like this, guys, maybe works out for you. I don't know, what do you think? Is this good? I'll do the same for Eleyah. Okay, I think this is good. I think this works perfectly. What do you think, guys? And this? Alright. Okay, I think this is good actually now. We don't see the opponent's score because he didn't play live, so that's why we can't actually see this as well. So that's one of the reasons why we can't see the score overall speaking. But we can see that we have actually this one right now. It should be okay. You can see their timings. This is my personal analysis, but we have h4. Eleyah is thinking here. He's trying to evaluate the stuff and figure out his way to keep going in the position. Okay, guys, I'm just coming in 1 second just to do something shortly. Okay. So like I mentioned, there can be many different ways how this position can perform. We can do complete analysis on it and we can try to make it work. So here Eleyah can play right away c5, trying to undermine the center. The reason why is this available is because there's a rule when somebody tries to attack you. I'm from Serbia. I'm his best friend, so I'm from Serbia. So basically, when somebody tries to attack you on the flank, and I'm talking about these kingside stuff, what are we trying to do? We are trying to set up an attack at the basically center, because then what can happen is that the attack can no longer be successful, overall speaking. So they can cause super problems. Super FM supposed to be an easy win for Eleyah. Well, there are no easy games. That's a problem. So there are no easy games. We don't have any easy games going on, and that is something which is quite important. Okay, guys, for the moment we are just it seems like camera is actually not working for a while. I'm not sure why. Is that the case? The camera link doesn't work anymore. Maybe they have a little bit of luck. It will hopefully come back as well. So let's see. We don't have the camera working out right now. Anyway, let's until the camera comes back, we can follow the live board and try to see what is kind of going on. So let's see. So black, he's still thinking. Is he gonna play c5? That's a good question. We are about to see as well. Maybe it's some connection issues, I don't know. But anyway, let's try to focus on the board and what can actually happen over here. So like there's c5 possible, and after c5, knight e5, knight c6. So like I started saying, we have to take care about c5 generally speaking. c5 is like a way where black can try to get some source of the ideas when in that situation he's gonna undermine the white center, and white with the center is gonna be quite questionable. The reason of that is because after h5 black can simply take, and if white goes for this idea, which is knight e5 here, black can quickly react with going back and just going to get bishop g4 in the game, which would cause a very serious problems in the white position, guys. So now black would just be pretty much getting the things super comfortable, and it would be very questionable about what would happen over here. I'm trying to reconnect the link, but it seems like the camera isn't actually working. So okay, what happened to the players? Isn't there a way you can contact? Unfortunately, I don't have a contact. So h5 is not right. Yeah, black should not panic at all. Black can just kind of peacefully play c5. That's a point here. After black does c5, he's totally fine with everything going on. So that's like, okay. Okay, guys, we have our camera back. Thanks God. Okay, that's great to see. I'm very happy about it. Very happy. This is great. So yeah, if he gets okay, we have c5 on the board. We have c5 on the board. That's a very nice. And now, like I said, it's not so great that white goes h5, because he might face problems. He goes h5. Overall speaking, he might face problems. So that's not good for him. That's one of the things over here. And let's see what can happen. What time is it for you? It's currently 10:22 a.m. here in Serbia. We have the same time like in Paris where they're playing, in French. So local time 10:22 a.m. Now white is thinking he has to probably go with some 95 because that's the main point of this opening. But let's say he goes 95, there's probably going to be 96. And after knight takes, pawn takes, let's say bishop e2, this is already something which is very slow from black for white, because after white takes here, now black can simply play knight d7, getting the full center control. And this can cause just a very, like a serious trouble as well for white in this case. I mean, his game is going to be very difficult. Can you repeat again, why is it good for black that this opponent's knight is on c3, stopping c2, c4? Of course, how to not do that? So Gengarios, I hope that d takes c5 is just clear to you why it's not the best possible option and just doesn't work in a very good way. So guys, I'm just coming just to set up something one second. Okay guys, we are good right now. So the question was about why is not good to go for some source of the idea with d takes c5 because of this. While the another question is why it's not good to get this source of the idea with why the knight on c3 is generally not great. Well, it's simple. Knight on c3 stops c4. So what happened in the game is this, and they went into this point, and now after h4, black can play c5. Imagine if there was the pawn on c4. So for example, if we can have something like c4, I don't know, knight this, and now castles e3, c5. This is also great for black, but maybe white can try to... White would never allow that type of position with c4. That's the difference. Because here, for example, now white can play e3, short castles, and now he can simply take on d5. But that would be a completely different game. Like we would get something like bishop c7 here, and this would be a completely different game. So that is the reason why this is not something that, generally speaking, is a case. So yeah. That is the answer on my question. Thank you for asking. Feel free, guys, to ask whatever you want. I'm here to answer. So to explain you the strategies behind the moves and what is kinda going on at the boards. Knight b5 on the board after so many moves. I don't think that happened. This is not a way. Because after knight b5, black can even ignore that. Like it's incredible. This is such an incredible line. And black can like play this position easily. Like the knight on a8 is just doing nothing. He's just literally doing nothing. That's the main problem which is happening. And with the white king in the center, I mean, black at some point will lose his knight. With the white king in the center, it's going to be very difficult for black to make anything work out. So that is something which is just such an important thing in this situation? Aha, he played knight a6. Okay, let's see. But why the moves are not showing up? I'm not sure. We can only see knight b5 and we can see knight a6. Okay. Knight b5, knight a6. That's what we can see here. Okay, now I see knight b5. Yeah, now knight a6 played by Eleyah. So we will see. It's not the best move. He should have went for taking, and after taking knight c6. When this would actually be totally comfortable with everything on the board. Simply because, like I mentioned, knight c7 no longer works. Black has amazing e5 idea. And he's either gonna eliminate the knight and the bishop, but most likely both. And it's gonna be over. Did he miss that amazing line of yours? Well, when you play classical chess, when you watch from the side, it's much simpler to complain about the things and to be like thinking about what can happen. But overall speaking, we have to kind of rely on the fact that you have to understand that if you don't calculate very well, you know it's a critical position, you don't calculate properly and correctly, that might cause very serious trouble. So that is one of the things over here that can be quite problematic, you know. So now White played a move, and I'm not sure what exactly he played. Aha, he played the move c3. So we have c3. So basically, this is something that we just have on the board. Hey, Standard, Furious 5G. Hello, Mika, how are you today? Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you as well? So we have another round that I'm doing a comment. Second round. So we will see. We have this on the board, c3. Knight a6 wasn't the best option. Eleyah played a little bit difficult move, which is knight a6, not the best one. For all of you who missed this, the reason why knight a6 is a mistake is because he could play something like knight c6 simply, and he should never be worried about knight c7 because despite the line I showed, Black can play rook b8 and he has never problems, such as knight b5. We can just take, they just take. We have d takes e3, and despite White keeping the piece on the board, White goes pawn takes f2, bishop takes f2, knight e4. And this is, I mean, this is not realistic, honestly speaking. Calculating something like this, it's not simple. So I completely understood that he played knight a6. Probably he should have taken more time here trying to evaluate what is a position. Eleyah took 55 seconds, and that was probably not the best practical decision over here to just get the things on the board. So that's why one of the reasons here why I believe the things should have went in a different way. Is this a London system? Yeah, we kind of got Jobava London, Furious 5G. Are we down a rook in that variation? Yeah, absolutely. So we would be down a rook. Eleyah played a very nice idea with bishop g4, because now this bishop is like an outpost. The h-pawn, the temporary outpost, the h-pawn is being pushed. And since the h-pawn is being pushed, this is just overall speaking not something that really favors white. So he kind of feels misplaced over here. And I like black position. Eleyah is totally comfortable here. We can see the time situation is basically even. And let's see how the game will proceed. Okay guys, I missed to take water while eating some sweets, so that will be the case. Coming back in a second. That is insane. Are you calculating this one or you're house? Because otherwise I'm impressed. As you can see, the evil bar. So I have the analysis tool and it's like 50-50. I kind of know because I played this as black, but I wasn't completely sure what was going on after initial situation with the rook sacrifice. I didn't saw that longer, but just because of white's undevelopment, that was the reason why he was basically just struggles. Yes, I also stream, so that is a question on Twitch from Gengarios. I do stream, so on my own Twitch channel, and yeah. So white played bishop e2 over here. We can see that on the board, not yet on the chess.com. So probably there's some small delay, which is a totally normal move. He's ready to castle, he's ready to develop, and Eleyah is now taking his time. He's trying to evaluate the stuff. How is the tournament going so far for Eleyah? It's not ideal. He has 2.5 out of 5, but I actually no, he has I think 3. So on the boards that we broadcasted, he has 2.5 out of 5, but this is round 7, as I'm pretty much sure. So I'm not completely sure how many points he has, because we don't have the chess results from this tournament. They have their own website, and it's not so simple to find the pairings. Okay, we have a 1 follow. Thanks. When did you get your FM title? When I was 17. So, long time ago. 7 years ago. That's when I got my title. So that is something that was a long time ago as well. International Master Mikasun. Well, I'm not that close to being a international master, honestly. But the good news is that I'm actually playing, so it's quite fine, overall speaking. So yeah, thank you for believing. I also do believe the same in the future. Being very positive about it, honestly. Here's the man who came from ICU Adopt. Okay. Gengarios, thanks for the follow. So we got some moves, guys. Bishop e2. And now Eleyah played. What did he play? I need to find out. He played Queen c8, if I'm seeing good. He played Queen c8. This is very interesting. The question is the idea of this move. Maybe he wants to get rook d8. Most likely. Also, there's maybe some interesting ideas such as Queen f5 and Queen h5. So that might be the another option over here, which can happen, in general speaking. But we are about to see. How long has been Eleyah FIDE Master? Well, he has been FIDE Master actually in 2024, by the way. That's what I think. Because we went for the same tournament. So he was FIDE Master like at 2024. So he became FM at the age of 24, I think. 23, yeah. But really big respect for that, because at that time when he became a master, I mean, it's usually expected that when you're younger you take a title, but the chess really changed in the last like 5 years, 10 years, and it's much harder to gain the title and the rating despite you playing very strong, because all the players are playing strong. That's the thing. Queen c8 such an interesting idea. Let's see if Chess.com updated these moves. He's still standing here. Anyway, guys, bishop e2, queen c8. Now we can get castling, but there's a problem. Do you see, guys, the problem here? So can you maybe figure out what is the problem that is actually going on at this point when we talk about this position? Which seems good for white, and according to the engine it's okay, but I think in the practical situation it's not that great. There's a one weird thing. Can you spot that? Let's go, chat. No castle, he played knight e5. Okay, Shirley. I was just studying what types of moves could happen. He went for knight e5 here. I said, so we don't have castling. Knight e5. So he decided to simplify. Okay, now we have a completely different game. White played this move in order to solve the problem that is actually it was quite obvious. That was the bishop on g4. But right now, Eleyah, it's just equal. So Eleyah was slightly worse, white was slightly better. But now it's around equal. So he should definitely pick up the bishop on e2. And after queen e2, maybe get something like knight b8. Just going back and trying to reroute the knight. Because the knight really should come at this moment. Okay, so we have on the board bishop takes e2, queen e2. The chess.com is not updating the moves for some reason. We have bishop e2 and queen e2 as well. Black played knight d7. Alright. He decided to offer the trade of the knights towards the center. That is interesting. White has a few ways to continue here. So Eleyah wants to take. And after taking, he wants to basically ask whites about long castling idea. Yeah, it's so difficult to find knight b8 as well. But it makes sense. Maybe he rushed a bit. Because now h5 is not the problem. He can take. It's still possible to take here. But this is probably what he was basically afraid of. This position, it's not simple. It's equal, according to an engine. But in practice, it's not simple. That's one of the main things that we have to kind of be worried about here. Maybe just delay. Maybe I'm trying to see it in the moves. But after bishop g4, it kind of stopped. Maybe I can refresh that, but yeah, it just kind of stops after this situation. So we have this, knight d7. White is to move. He has to figure out his stuff and how he will continue. What do you think, guys, White will play in this position? He has many options. Usually in chess, when we talk about an options, if somebody has a multiple options, it can be pretty difficult to decide about the moves. All ideas for black in this position with the rook sacrifice, knight b8, knight f7. Yeah. To be honest, this is why I kind of stopped playing this line with basically g6 on the third move, because they just have these types of h4, h5, and it's so annoying. They don't have that when a6 and b5 is on the board that easily, but here they do. They can try to make it. He's thinking though. White is thinking. White is spending a lot of the time. That's a great thing. So it means Eleyah is very comfortable with his situation. Well, it's difficult to defend. More or less. We'll see what is gonna be the thing. White is taking his time seriously. That's Eleyah's chance. When I was commenting the first round, guys, I'm pretty sure that many of you saw that first round. Basically, it was like the time was playing a big role in the game. So Eleyah was better. He was almost winning. But then the game turned into the draw, because when there was a time trouble, it was basically not so simple to figure out would it lead to the win and what exactly would happen. So that is something which is just a slight case and the situation over here. Now he goes to walk. He's kind of chilling, and he's making sure to just go and take a little bit of relax. I think it's the first time for him at this moment. So we're about to see. This is the first critical moment of the game. White needs to figure out his plans. It's not very simple, because overall speaking, I mean, it's kind of for me, and we can all see the evil bar showing that white is better. But the question is, does he know that? Like, does he realize that actually long castling and all of the stuff here can actually lead him to the position which is quite good? I'm not completely sure. On the other hand, if Eleyah manages to get this knight to the point where the knight will be useful, and he will include him somewhere in the middle and something different, it can affect a position very seriously. So that is something which is quite and important to figure out here, guys. So we just want to be sure in this as well, and take care about it. So yeah, now white Sulian Sweet Said, how do I pronounce his name? He's actually probably about to make a move, but he's taking his time, so we are about to see. Let's wait for a while. Okay, Eleyah comes back. Okay, he grabs that knight, so he decides to grab the knight. We are gonna get queen d7, of course, and now the best move is h5, when he would actually keep an attack and the pressure on the black king side. But the good thing and the positive thing about the position is that we have h5, so there's like a bishop here, and that bishop on g7, he's a great defender. He can try to seriously defend the black position, and for white it would be quite questionable what he would do. Would actually he be available to create any source of the issues? So that's something that is the thing. We have a very interesting game, and we might have a very dynamic game overall. So what do you think, guys? This is a very interesting position where we can discuss about many different moves. What do you think? Drop in the comments below. What do you think is gonna be like next move, next Eleyah move as well? So we are about to have a very interesting game going on. I'm rooting about different stuff. He might go knight b8, knight c6. That's somehow most logical. And maybe after knight c6 he tries to go a6, try to kick the knight. Because, okay, white attack here, his h5 setup, everything seems more or less pretty comfortable, generally speaking. So overall, it's something that is just overall fine. But what is the thing is that here, instead of this knight being here, if this knight was somewhere here, then white would be in a very pleasant position. But because of what we have over here, that's not exactly the case. White is better. White is looking forward to put the pressure on the attack, but we will see. So the time is also not the greatest overall. Okay, thanks for the follow. Time is also not the greatest and the times are not correct, guys, because we have actually a slightly different situation, and it's not like this, so I can actually just try to get this pretty much a little bit off so it doesn't confuse you. Okay, I think like this it would be the best, and it doesn't confuse you because this is not the exact time. It's not like all the time white is thinking, so it's slightly different. What can I say is that they're most likely even around the time. Eleyah should try to get some source of the time control and put some pressure later on. So we will see. Gengario's open c file, then rook c8. That might not be the bad idea to open up the c file and play rook f c8 or rook a c8 as well. That's a nice idea. But the thing is that white can take with the e pawn. So he can open up his own e file, he can open up his bishop e5 ideas. And right here, I don't think it's actually super great idea to open up the center when the black king is kinda under the attack. So this is something which is just important to realize overall, guys. So this is something which is important to realize at this particular moment. So yeah, that's a case. I'm rooting for knight b8, but I don't know what else can be logical. Rook fc8 with same idea, maybe, who knows. But I'm rooting for knight b8, then maybe a6, and he should be fine pretty much with everything going on. We are about to see. King b8. Not king b8. Okay, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. He did c takes d4. He took the pawn. Wow. Okay, very nice prediction. But like I mentioned, if white goes ed, then he's just a little bit opening up the e file. But it's alright. I mean, guys, everything is okay here in the black position. Just like we mentioned, this knight a6 stuff, this knight remaining on a6 here, he's kind of annoying. So that is something that is what he should try to solve, overall speaking. White is now thinking. He's trying to evaluate the stuff. So maybe what we can get here is ed, maybe e6. long castles, and then the attack would be super strong for white. So this is actually not good. This is not good for black. If this actually would happen, this is not perfect for black. Instead, what he can do is rook fc8, like not rook ac8 because of the a7 pawn, and then he can play knight b8, a6, and I'm pretty sure he should be fine. I'm questioning here maybe rook fc8 first, trying to get the stuff with knight b8 and a6. You probably wonder after knight b8, what about knight c7? Here, guys, we have a very nice combination by just playing the move e5. And this move e5, it would completely change the situation of the board. However, we have an update. So after queen d7, okay, here these moves are not visible on the live board. ed, we have e takes d4. So white played the move. Eleyah now has to decide what to do. What are his plans? He's not in the great situation, but it's early. It's very early to talk about possible results here and what can happen, because everything can happen under time management. Okay, he goes for the queen f5. So he goes right away for activity. This is the move that I like, actually. And now white is kind of gonna be questionable because his long castling stuff, it's not gonna be available. So Eleyah might even proceed with the g5. So for example, g3, g5, and after bishop e3, if Eleyah can get h6 here, he would be at the extremely comfortable situation with everything. So that is like one of the possibilities that can happen and that can overall. If he play knight b8, won't the rook be in the danger fade decent? Yeah, so that's the line that I showed. Probably wrote that comment before I just noticed it, but I showed that black would play e5 and simply shut down that idea, so that would completely change the things, generally speaking. And yeah, that's the only reason why it works that way. So makes complete sense as well. Now we are waiting for the white to find his options. He's kind of seeing what he might play or what can be the thing. Let's see. White is kind of ready to make a move, but he still doesn't. Also, this is the morning round. They have already played so many rounds, and basically every day it's a double round, guys. We have to understand that players are overall very tired. It's exhausting, and it's not so simple to play in these conditions. I recently played a tournament with Eleyah in Alicante, in San Vicente, which is near Alicante, and there were basically 540 players, and we played double rounds basically every second day. The tournament lasted 6 days. There were 9 rounds. The conditions of the time control were the same. So like 90 minutes plus 30 seconds. And generally speaking, it's not simple. Like at first round, maybe you get totally fine with all the things and the conditions and everything. But then you kind of come into day 2 where which is the first day of the second round of the 2 rounds. And then after that, it's like you just have like 2 rounds. You either, whatever you do in the first game, you're surely going to have a game like a 3.5 hours. And after that, it just like becomes much harder. So being sharp, overall, finding the ideas, it's not very simple. So those are the things which are making a difference, and which, generally speaking, is something that we should take into consideration of understanding how classical chess is difficult and playing towards these conditions. It's not so simple. Double rounds, you don't have time to prepare. First of all, you have to get some rest, and also you have to get your time to prepare. Okay, we have bishop g3 on the board, which was one of the options. It wasn't crystally the best option. So guys, now Eleyah can play rook fc8. I would like to just put remind here that after queen e7 the game would be losing, because black has a very nice idea of just skewering the queen and the king, and it would be game over on the spot. So we have bishop g3, which is good for black because now there's no move such as there's no move such as g4 at this point, and that's very nice to see over here. So day 5 it will be okay, fade decent. I couldn't actually completely understood what you wrote, day 5, but if you think about the tournament, yeah, in day 5, so after 5 days, it's basically, if you wanted to say collapse, I mean, it's not so simple. It's kind of difficult to play. It's not very simple, generally speaking. That's a reason why all of this can be kind of uncomfortable, overall speaking. So yeah, that is something which is just one of the things over here. So let's see what are we gonna get here from Eleyah. He's now taking his time trying to evaluate the plans. Computer shows some advantage for white, but white has a problems to castle, so his king is in the center. And maybe what can happen over here is, well, of course short castling here wouldn't be so great. So first of all, something like rook fc8, get the rook on the c file, because he wants to get knight b8 maybe at some point. But still, this knight on b5 is kind of problematic. Then white technically can long castle, but then he runs right away into the hands of this strong queen. And then here black can play knight b4, and after taking, the only move that white has to find is to basically king d2. And this is very difficult, practically speaking, when actually he would have to run away from all the possible like a craziness in the position. And after king d2, king e1, king f1, he's saving his king. For example, why after knight b4 taking on g6, why black can't simply take on a2? The point is, after king d2, this knight is trapped currently. So even if black can have 2 moves, I mean, it's very difficult for black to get his knight outside of the game. So black can, for example, get queen g6, But now white goes rook a1. Okay, here there's knight b4. So white has to first play king e1, and now he's aiming for rook a1 here. And that's actually something that completely turns the thing into the questions, and it would be surprisingly basically difficult to see the plans from the black side after this, because white king is safe. He's just totally fine, and personally I don't think there are any problems. That is something which is one of the possibilities over here. Let's see if we have a move. Eleyah is still thinking, so he's not yet he hasn't yet decided what to do. The best move would be rook c8. The alternative would be to come back with the queen on d7, but that right away allows taking, and after taking on h6 it allows long castling. So I'm not very happy about this overall speaking, because now with this long castling stuff, it's technically questionable what's going on, guys. So that is a case over here. We have the move. He played, it seems like he played the move rook e8 to overprotect his pawn on e7, and now he's ready to play e5. Okay, this is such an interesting plan, and white has to be careful about what is he gonna do, because if black gets e5, it can totally set up an issues, and it's not gonna be so simple at this moment. So let's see, what are we gonna get over here? So white is aiming for a few options. That's what can I actually read from his body language. He's kind of aiming for a few options here, but we are about to see. It's gonna be interesting to evaluate the potential behind the position. So let's see. Also, what can I see is that Eleyah has a slightly better time than white does, and that is good to know over here. That might put white into later long-term issues through the game. What happened to me many times is that during playing chess games is that I would be better on time, worse in the position, but then try to outplay the opponent around the time situation, and they just I mean, people are very upset when they get into time trouble. Like that's usually how I can describe it. Like people, they are very upset. For example, if you play Blitz and Rapid, you kind of know already from the beginning, okay, I'm in some sort of the time trouble. But when you play Standard for like a few hours, you get to the 3 hours, like you get to the point where you play for the 3 hours and many different things can happen. Like you're suddenly okay. You've been thinking every single move 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever. At Rapid in Blitz, that's not the case. You take 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 1 minute sometimes, very rarely. And then it's happening what? What is happening? It's happening that basically your brain is he needs to adapt into that, and that's not very simple. It's not very simple to adapt into that situation. So this is something which I wanted to point out, guys, as well. No e5 right away though. White can just jump knight d6 if e5, Gengarios mentioned. Kinda correct here. We can play e5 right away, but in the long future, e5 will be the plan as well. I just don't like, what I don't like about the position here is that how do we get the knight from b5? Like this is annoying knight. He's not even that strong as he annoying is, because he's just standing there looking at the black position and needs to really figure out, black needs to figure out what to do, because the main thing is that black can't really right now move the knight from a6. The knight from a6 is going to get attacked. It might actually cause pressure. So that's not super simple, generally speaking. So we have rook e8, let's say long castles right away. Black can give a check and get the pawn. So that's what pretty much is a tricky situation. While after taking here, Eleyah can simply take, and now after long castles, now there's no check. So that's why that's how white should keep going. Now Eleyah can maybe go queen e4 and be totally fine with everything going on, potentially, but it's not a simple decision. That's the thing. The problem is that he has to watch out about this bishop from g7, because bishop from g7 is just not doing so much right here. That's a slight disadvantage, guys. But all right, let's see. I hope you can hear me clearly, and the connection is actually quite good. If you think that the sound is not that quite perfect, please let me know so we can try to just get that as a slightly better. Sound is great, thank you. So for all of you who just tuned in, we are at this position. White is on the move, he's taking his time, and we are waiting to see what's gonna happen. By the way, guys, feel free to ask any questions about chess in general. It doesn't need to be related to this game or the tournament. If you overall wonder about the stuff for your own chess or some advices, I'm very open to discuss about that. So we are gonna wait for the next move to arrive from the white side. Gengarios, yes. I'm very commentating often. If you ask about streaming, I do my own streams on my own channel on both YouTube and Twitch, which are named the same name. And the streams are regularly going at Tuesday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Serbian time. So I think it's a set time zone. But tomorrow I'll be also doing Eleyah stream, I think. And basically my stream will start one hour earlier than usually, which will be 7 a.m. set time. So yeah, the answer is yes. I do commentate often. So hello, is this tournament Eleyah plays on chess results? No, they don't have like a typical chess results link. It's slightly different. And we have a move. They have their own website. That's the thing. Alright guys, we have a move. White plays king f1. He refuses to long castles. He refuses to go for this. So here there might be f6. There might be e5. Now the things are actually slowly starting to get very, very interesting, because I'm not completely sure what will be exactly the white plan. I kind of don't like that his king is on f1. That doesn't seem quite comfortable. But he has the advantage because his h file stuck with the rook and the pawn, so he can very often just open up the h file. One of the main reasons why is he probably just keeping this this thing not open is because, overall speaking, what is the case? All right, I'm here. So what is the case? There might be some h6 at some point. So if h6 would arrive, that would actually just be quite questionable for black in some lines. But here, for example, h6 is bad because it would close any source of the ideas with the attack, and that is something that we don't pretty much like in general, because from the white side, because with h6 he's closing his own attack, which is not making sense, because he just gets like he gets to attack black king, and it's not super simple, generally speaking. So yeah, that's one of the cases. How many points Eleyah have right now at the tournament? So from the rounds we had, so this is round 7. He has 2.5 out of 5 on the rounds where it was like a live coverage, I think, with the TGT boards. But I think he has 3 out of 6 or 3.5 out of 6. I'm not completely sure. I think he has either 3.5 out of 6 or the 3 out of 6. Maybe somebody can update me, guys. Maybe somebody can update me. So we have king f1. Now Eleyah can... Maybe there's a time to bring this rook in the game and just prepare this. Like, why not? If he can bring the rook in the game, get this e5, he's just gonna get like a super cool position, because it's not gonna be very simple for white to realize what is he gonna do. That's how I feel like at this particular moment as well. Is he about to make a move? This is not the current position on the board. The current position is here. So we are waiting to see. Are we gonna get the move? Soon. White has like a 46 minutes on the clock, if I'm very well seeing. So we'll see what's gonna happen. He's still thinking. Still thinking though. Oh, he goes b6. All right. b6. He makes a prophylactic move. What is the idea behind b6? So we have a move. It's b6. Maybe he wants to get e5 and knight c5 at some point, as much fast as that is a possibility. Rook e1 is something that white can maybe play. But I don't know, this is a very, very like unclear position. Regardless of what computer is saying, it's questionable, because somebody has to show up with something. White doesn't want to take on g6. He's waiting for black to do something. Black doesn't want to open up the center because of the knight d6 idea. At the same time, both white king and the black king are standing at the point where they are fine, but it's super hard to say which one is safer, because the white king on f1, as you can guys see, this king here, he looks totally weird, and that's like anti-chess rule. Like the king is not supposed to be on f1 while your rook is on h1. So that is something which is quite important to understand. At the same time here, the problem that black has is that he is no longer attacking any weaknesses. So because he is no longer attacking any weaknesses, he is just, I mean, not in the situation where we can call white king is like problematic. So that is something which is just important thing to figure out over here. We have to take care of it. So that's what matters. We'll see. Okay, now white is ready to make some moves. He's actually thinking. He goes for rook e1. Okay, that's why he plays he played the move king e1, because he wants to go with rook e1 overall speaking. And now rook e1 is just a nice way to keep going. He is stacking the e file. Now we'll see what Eleyah will play, because it's not that simple anymore with this e5. Now it's harder to get e5. Of course, knight d6, but right now it's a bit harder to get e5, generally speaking. So this is like making a difference as well. We'll see. Othman Ross, welcome to stream. 27 right away. Yeah. He goes back. But again, what's going on over here is the fact that white has to find a straightforward plan, and that's not so simple. But I'm not completely sure why Eleyah played b6. That's not something that I'm completely sure overall what is the idea behind it. This knight is undefended, but at the same time it's good that actually it's just overall speaking fine. Okay, now we have them directly putting the moves, and here we have the updates about the time guys. So we have an update on the time. And that's very nice to see because they added the moves manually. So very happy about it. And we are back. Okay, I think it's good now. Perfect. Flip times. Let me check. Okay, yeah, that's true. The times aren't the best, so need to flip them. Okay, now it's good. Now it should be good. Hopefully it's visible properly. Maybe I can place it here, I'm not sure. But it's better over here. Yeah, guys, I think right now we are clearly seeing the times without any problems. Thanks for the assistance. So we have a move. The move is a4. So white doesn't go for something like rook h3, which was insane. He goes for a4. So now he's actually ready to move his queen somewhere. That is actually the point over here. He's ready to move his queen somewhere. He's ready to have his path to just figuring out the stuff. The queen, but Eleyah goes right away, rook a d8, and now he's just finally getting the idea of f6 and e5. I think this is a good chance for him to get this. So he has also clearly better time management. 12 minutes ahead. So this can seriously affect on the game. Also remember that they no longer have any source of the any resource of the generally speaking, they don't have any resource of the additional time control after half an hour. So that's also good to know. Okay. So I don't see a way how white can stop this f6 and d5 coming up. Can go h6, but then bishop f8, and then his all ideas behind the h5 are kind of questionable. So he has to carefully figure out his ideas, and that's not simple at all, generally speaking. So we are about to see what's gonna happen. What about f4 to stop e5? Good question, but I don't think it's a great idea because it automatically closes the bishop from f4, from g3. So that doesn't feel like a good move over here. He goes f4. He would close the bishop from g3. That's at least the one problem of the position. The another problem is this square. So for example, if this knight can come somehow to this square, that would be super great. Also this square. Now this bishop is like misplaced here. So why should search for... I mean, white is very solid here because the knight on a6 isn't doing that much. The knight on a6 did not perform perfectly. That's something that made the changes, generally speaking. So okay, white takes on g6. Now we are most likely gonna get h takes g6, and I think it would be pretty much comfortable for black at this point because actually we got something in the game. Like the file opened up. White is better, but engine C sees a position as a better position. But it's gonna be a question how exactly the things will form and what's gonna happen. That's a good question. Eleyah is thinking here. Maybe he's trying to find some different ideas and options. I'm not sure. We will see, guys. It's a good question here. Okay, Eleyah goes for the expected option, which is taking on g6. So what do you think, chat? What will white play here? Guess the move. What do you think? Can you maybe guess the move and what he might play? We are waiting to see. He goes bishop h4. So he's trying to just deliver the pressure here into the e7 pawn. And this is a mistake, guys. This is a mistake. Now this is the moment when Eleyah can get knight b8, knight c6, and finally get a6 on the board. So this is the moment when the things can actually get quite comfortable for black, seriously, because first of all, knight b8 is a very tempting move. I don't know if they updated it. No, they didn't update it, but we can see here. So knight b8 is the first thing. Then, okay, he very quickly made the move. He played f6. He could play knight b8 and then knight c6, maybe a6. He played f6 kind of quickly. This move is fine because it supports that idea. Also, Eleyah can go for something which is very funny, and that's a move such as king f7. The move king f7 would actually lead the things into like it would be very questionable for white about his situation, for sure. So that's why this feels all right. This feels very comfortable, generally speaking. We're about to see. How long do you play chess? I do play chess long for the 20 years. That's when I learned. So how long when did I start it? I started when I was 7 years old. Now I'm 24, so around 17 years. But I learned when I was 4. So very long, I would say. Yeah, I played chess for a very, very long amount of time, honestly. Oh, 3 months ago, okay. Well, good luck in this journey. This is, I mean, hopefully it's gonna be a long journey though. So that's something which is just like interesting. Okay, do we have a next move? No, I don't think, guys, we have the next move. No, they didn't updated it, so it went to this point. We're waiting to see what will happen. Okay, thanks for the follow. Appreciate. Progress from big 300 to 400 to now 111. Ooh, that's very nice. Wow. That's so great. That's so great. Okay, we have something going on, guys. We have a queen trade, as I can see. So I decided to trade the queens. And this is actually now like getting into completely drawish situation. But the time situation, it's not correct over here. So I need to just I'll not confuse you with the time situation, and we'll just remove it for a while. Okay, like this is good, because this is not the correct time situation. The correct time situation is around white has like a 35 minutes, black has like a 51 minutes or something, I would say, and it keeps going, so it's all right. Thank you for all the follows on Twitch as well, so that's appreciated. And yeah, great. So Eleyah went for king f7. Perfect. This is the position, guys. We have king f7 on the board. So now we have this endgame where black has no problems. Like, he can slowly build the things around his path. Can slowly build the things. And now we are gonna see. It's gonna be quite a good question about black situation. What is he gonna do? How is he gonna continue? Because I'm not really sure if it's gonna be super simple for him. We'll see. Okay, they're manually making a moose. So now we have our timings back, which is great. So you can see right now, guys, they have 33 minutes. White has 51 minutes for black. Eleyah is better on time. Eleyah is almost better in the position. Practically speaking, this game might actually lead for the win for black. Guys, just a few moments ago, like basically here, few moments ago, we were in the position where white was basically much better. However, just after few moves, now we are here. Eleyah traded the queens. White never ever got anything from his knight from b5, and at this point, black is really incredibly comfortable. I'm pretty sure that white is not happy with the situation. I can see from the body language that he's looking at like a one spot and he's like thinking, what just happened? Because he had a great attack, he had a great chances over the h file, but he never used them. So that is something that kind of completely made the difference. I mean, so for the guy who's had progress from big 300 400 to 1100, it's a very, I mean, it's incredibly huge progress, and at the same time it means you are talented, because just after 3 months of playing chess, reaching that rating level. So that's super cool. All right, so now white has to figure out. He equalized the position. The things went into the things are going into an endgame. We are about to see what's gonna happen, guys. We are about to see. I'm rooting for black now. He is much better. I mean, of course, Eleyah is a favorite from the start, but it's not so simple to play. Oh, hey, okay, we have rook e1. Hopefully chess.com is gonna register that move. Yeah, here we are. And now Eleyah can play g5. Eleyah can maybe go with a very safe option of rook d7. And that seems pretty much totally fine, I would say, at this moment. So let's see what's gonna happen, overall speaking. Cool question. Rook e1, there's g5 available, there's rook d7 available, there's rook h8 available. For example, there's a very nice trick that black can trap, so he can go rook h8. And of course, this move is useful because it's put the rook on the open file. But after this move, let's say white does something like knight e7, which seems like a free pawn, and he's like thinking, okay, I'm gonna go back, whatever. Black can just right away play g5, using this pin and winning the game. So that pawn will not even help white at all. So instead we got the moves. We have rook d7 being played, and that's exactly what I was rooting for, because rook d7 doesn't allow knight takes the pawn on a7, and right here black position feels very comfortable. So this is something which is just an important thing in the white case. We will see. I'm very happy with the white position, with the black position, honestly. Let's see, guys. What do we have here? White is in a very uncomfortable situation. He's not sure what to do. So it's a question. It's a good question. Eleyah is very comfortable. He is now probably in the driving seat. He knows that he was worse. I'm pretty sure he saw that from the airplane. And right now, we are about to see how is White gonna perform. White goes f4. White goes f4. Okay, what is the idea behind the move f4? Okay, so he wants to stop both g5 and d5. That's fine, but now he creates this weakness and this weakness. So the plan should be reroute the knight. Okay, I'm routing for rerouting the knight somewhere as well. That's his plan, most likely. We'll see. He has also good, like a time advantage, so that's cool, generally speaking. But right now, I'm not sure why actually the time kinda stopped for a second. Okay, now it's good. Now he's sitting back at the chair. Refreshed. I see that Eleyah is comfortable. It's very obvious that he is comfortable because with the 48 minutes on the clock, he makes the best move right away. And finally, after 24 moves, we have this knight coming back in the game. I'm very happy about the position right now. This seems very comfortable. Very, very comfortable. The hardest moments of the game, they are away. They are away. So now we will be seeing here what can happen. What do you think, guys, will be the result of the game? And how the game will go? Will it go to the king side, to the center, to the queen side? Also, you can write me the ratings of in your chat, like which level you are, and the guys who are you watching here on YouTube and Twitch. So we can have some predictions over here. What might be the cases? From my objective point, the position is pretty dry. Like they're still coming into an endgame, and we will see. Probably Eleyah should be available to outlay his opponent because of the time management, and that's my opinion. So time management just works in his way very well. That's how it looks like. And this is just a good thing. So feel free to write in chat which levels you are. If some of you are maybe even masters watching here, or some 2000s, regards for you. So let's see. What are the predictions? What will be the next pawn break, the next attack on the king side or the queen side? Okay, we already have the one. We have g4. We have g4 by white. He's trying to gain the space. All of this would be great for white if he had a queens on the board, because then he would be actually very happy to plant the queen over here. But unfortunately right here, it's not that simple for him. It's not that simple. Like, there are no queens. The black pieces are pretty comfortable. They're together. And that is something that just makes a difference on the board. So right now, guys, we need to try to figure out what are the things, what are the cases. Let's see. White is thinking. Sorry, now Eleyah is thinking. He needs to try to maybe make a move. Something like e6 would be a pretty good idea, where he doesn't have specifically some problems, and I think his overall like gonna finally stop all the potential issues from the white side. So that's why this feels comfortable. What is he about to do? He's trying to make a plan. He's trying to make a plan. That's not very simple. It's hard to also say for who is like more easier to play in this case. Is it for white or black? It's harder to actually predict that. We have a move. All the 2000 are tough. Yes. Absolutely. It's not the same. It's not simple. Okay, guys, we have a move. G4. Eleyah played rook h8. Now he's threatening g5. He's threatening g5 here. Okay, now we have another move, which is king g2. Now Eleyah can play maybe even f5. He can go even knight c6, overall speaking. That is something which might be the case. And he immediately goes knight c6, which is great because he's just coming with his knight in the game. After so many moves, the knight is finally in the game. Now we are gonna have an endgame. It's gonna be interesting. Let's see. Would someone tell Eleyah's score? The score is 2.5 out of 5, but I don't know, there's a 1 point missing. And that is something that we currently have. But there's a one round that I missed personally, so I don't know what exactly he scored, because the tournament is not on the chess results. Okay, guys, so we have bishop g3, we have taking on h1. Just happened. Now king h1. Wow, king h1. Okay, that's not. So white is playing this endgame. He drew the game. Aha, he drew that game. Okay, so he has 3 out of 6. So he has 3 out of 6 actually, and here he has a better position. But online, do you see a draw here? No, I see Eleyah will win. That's my prediction. Eleyah will make a win here, because white, as a game is progressing, he was doing great from the opening, but as a game was progressing, it's just actually like, it's just generally speaking, it's like problematic now. That's a problem. So white started the game very strongly. He played very good opening. Eleyah missed one move, and then the thing started pointing out on the white side. And it was going on for an hour like that. But then later on, it just flipped. And right now, we have like equality. And I pretty much believe that Eleyah will be available to make the things overall speaking here. Now take and bishop h6 to push for bishop g5. That might be actually a strong idea here. Now then he can later on play knight c4 and get this. That might be a good idea. We'll see. Let's see. Yeah, absolutely. He can go for it. And he's gonna put white into questions, because it's not very simple. Yes, Eleyah is dangerous. Well, it's not only about that, but his opponent is unsecure, I would say. His opponent is not sure what's going on here. That's also what is the key issue that white is having. That's also the case. 20 minutes advantage is great. Mm-hmm. 20 minutes advantage for Eleyah. What's the time format? 90 plus 30 and 30 minutes extra after 40 moves. There's no extra 40 moves as well. No, there's no extra half an hour after 40 moves. So that is something which is quite important to say. The advantage he had at the start is gone, so he will taste Eleyah's strength. Cool. Correct. Okay, we have these sequences that we're speaking about. We have this dynamic of knight c4 coming up. Can you explain why engine wants g takes f5 here and thinks g5 is bad? Armline asks. Of course, one of the main reasons why playing g5 here is bad is because you break one of the Capablanca rules and you close or shut down your dark square bishop. So this would be so horrible that engine is literally giving advantage for white like he's up a piece. That's a reason why taking on f5 is just so bad overall. Like it's so bad. G5. So that's why g takes f5 has, because that bishop, I mean, generally you in chess you have to make sure that your pieces are breathing, like they are not actually setting up the trouble. And this is one of the cases, like, you know, you do this and you completely make the things different. So that's why this is super comfortable, generally speaking. Talpon Critiker FGM says, very instructive. Thank you. Please, guys, feel free to ask me about any source of the moves here. I'm here to help you. I'm here to not only make some entertaining comments and to make sure that the game will just go in somebody winning or losing, but also as advisor. So please make sure, feel free to ask any questions. Doesn't need to be related to this game. Of course, that's preferable, but overall other things are fine. So feel free to ask. We have a endgame overall going on, and the endgames are the hardest part of the game because there are so many little things, there are so many little pieces, but it can like be very tricky because you think, okay, it's an endgame, now it's very easy to play, but at the same time every mistake can actually just completely put us in trouble. What's your favorite book? To be honest, my favorite book is I think the first book I read, and it's exactly wrote by Capablanca. In Serbian I know the name, but in English I would call it The Basic of Chess. So it's a very good move. It's learning you the strategies, and you get used to the things very easily. Can you go more over that Capablanca rule? Well, Capablanca rule is overall, I mean, okay, if we go back for a while. So the thing I just mentioned, both of the players have the bishop. That's like a thing. If this bishop was the knight, then this would make a lot of the sense, because then this bishop would be limited thanks to the black pawns, which are on a6, b6, e7, f6, and g5. So that would be something that generally would be all right. But since the bishop on g7 is here, the rule simply says don't place your pawns if you have your own bishop, for example dark square bishop, on a dark squares, and it's just shutting down the bishop. So it's all about activity. But in the modern chess and nowadays, what I always say and advise people is that you need to don't only use general rules. So it's very important to make sure to also use other rules like to be open for exceptions, because in every single positions there are some exceptions, and it can be like the thing. All right, we have an update. So Eleyah just right away played bishop h6. I guess he did that because he just wants to leave options of taking on f5 later. Maybe he wants to get white to take here, because then he would actually activate his king, and this pawn on g4 would generally be like a very suspicious pawn. So that might be another thing going on over here, and this is something which is very, very important. So yeah, that's a case. In modern chess, mostly is about sacking. In modern chess, is mostly about tactics, sacrificing, attacking. I agree. I completely agree as well. So that is kind of correct. Okay, guys, we have bishop f2 on the board, an update, and he made a serious mistake. He just closes his own bishop. He was afraid of something. I don't know exactly about what was he afraid, but now Eleyah can play directly a3, here, take, and play rook c7. And this is much better endgame. This is much better endgame. So this move, it's a total mistake, and now Eleyah is very comfortable. Also, he has like something around half an hour, like half an hour ahead in his clock, 25 minutes, 24 minutes. So this is ultra comfortable. Okay, what did he play? He took on f5. That's very nice to see that he took on f5. Now I'm expecting taking on f5 either. Well, white has to take. I mean, his other options are just not really that available. I think Eleyah will win. The endgame looks bad for white. Not only it looks bad for white, but he kind of started really playing not so great from the middle game. Like he put it himself, and yeah, now Eleyah found a plan, which is very nice. Knight e3. Here he can take, but there's also knight e6, which can happen. So we are expecting this to come. He has to do that. Okay, he goes knight e3, definitely. And now, okay, let's see. Knight d6 right away, and this pawn is for free. Okay, that's also the way how he can squeeze white. And here Eleyah gets a free pawn, and right now it's super comfortable position, because for white I don't see a way for him. Like he's not playing active. In an endgame you can't really play inactive. That's a thing. Okay, thanks for the follow. Appreciated. Let's see. Thanks for the follow. Appreciated. The white knight too looks misplaced. Unfortunately for white, most of his things are just looking misplaced. Like he's just facing a serious trouble. The first time black has advantage. Well, not completely the first time, because the moment where he also had advantage was also, I'll tell you now, here. Here he had a serious advantage. So guys, look at this position. This is the position where black had the advantage in the game. And after this position, for the long time, he didn't have an advantage. But now we are here and black has a very, very cool position. I mean, white is just realizing that he is in a deep trouble. Like he is just in trouble. Let's see, guys. What do we have? Is the board being broadcast in Chess.com? Yeah. Like he just made the Chess.com board and connected with DGT. So I think it's separated from other boards. But yeah, Eleyah has like a fixed board and he just made a broadcast on chess.com. Eleyah has the confidence now, like a really good confidence. Really good confidence. That's a thing. That's why I'm pretty sure, guys. I'm 95% sure that Eleyah is gonna win this game. Also, what is very bad for white is right now half an hour down on the time. So that's an additional problem. I mean, he's just facing real problems. Yep. It's so comfortable. Here we go. Let's see. What can white do to try to save the position? How much time it take for you to reach 2000 elo? What can try white to do? White needs to find any source of activity, but I currently don't see that because of the problems that overall he has with his position. So that's why it's not that simple. Okay, he finally goes for it. He goes rook e6, but he kind of stops this idea, but let's bishop c1 on the board. That's a great thing for black. How much time did it take for you to reach 2000 elo? Well, I was very young, and I think it took me like when I started my first rating tournament, 2 or 3 years, I would say. But I was already playing chess for a longer time, but without the tournament. So I think around 2-3 years, basically. That was my case. I mean, that's what I believe was the case overall speaking. Okay, Eleyah goes bishop c1 right away. That's very nice. He found it the best move. Now he's just, I mean. Okay, my lead chess around 25-2600 blitz. Chess come around 2650 2700. That's my rating overall. I do play actively. Eleyah is winning now. We can simply call this like a winning position. Because the advantage he has, it's incredibly difficult for white to figure out his things. He'll have a struggle. That's why it's so comfortable. And I believe that he will comfortably win. Do you get invited to the international tournaments? Currently, no. My rating is like not that big, and I'm a FIDE master, so I do get for some norm tournaments, like organizers call me and stuff, but it depends if I have enough time and resources to play. That's the thing. Okay, guys, so I can't wait for the next move, because this is the moment where white has to decide. Yeah, he decided to just give up his pawn. I'm pretty sure Eleyah is gonna grab the pawn, and it's gonna be pretty much winning. Is this tournament score in chess results? No, because they have their own website. Pay Decent said you and Eleyah come from the same mentor. Not actually. No. We didn't have the same mentor, I would say. Now we are mentoring each other so over the time, which is good. I can say that. Okay, of course he grabs the pawn. The pawn is a pawn. Like, there's a one grandmaster. There are few of them who like to say pawn is a pawn, because it's much more comfortable when you take a free pawn, you're up a material, than everything else, because compensation sometimes can easily go. Like it happened in initiative can easily sometimes go in the game. In this in this game, it turns out like this. Did I have a coach to reach the title? I did when I started just before my first tournament. I really had a coach, and first of all, we had a school coach, and he introduced me to the chess. So how to win this? Okay, so he introduced me to the chess, and then later on, he recommended me the individual coach, and that coach took me and showed me the repertoire. He showed me the great lines. He actually showed me how he was teaching. He was not that much teaching me as he was advising me and trying to just put the things in my mind, which are just like in chess crucial. And when you focus on the great things, it's completely different story. Like you can work a lot. That's true. Fade Decent taught me the 4 knights. Exactly, that's also true. So or recommend, or at least give a recommendation. So you can sometimes just get the good advice, just start working towards something, and it immediately gives you the results. You can sometimes get into something, test that, and after like a month it no longer works. Even after the few months no longer works, you put it hard work and it's still not working in the greatest possible way. So all of this is going on. Okay, white is fighting here. This game will not end without a fight, but we're about to see. We're about to see. Can we hear his name? Okay, I didn't ask him if he wants to be like a public. Maybe we can keep. I can say that he's international master and he's also from Serbia. So let's just make it, because I didn't ask him if he wants to get public. So that's a reason why I would rather skip to answer that directly. But thank you for understanding. Thank you for understanding. Yeah, 96, then 94, no. Okay, 96, of course, something like this. I would also include the rook in the game, so what Eleyah should do is include the rook in the game. So, it looks great. Yesterday I saw the power of 4 knights. You might also tomorrow as well, on my own stream, so we will see. Okay, we have rook d8, guys, exactly what I mentioned. Eleyah just wants to get a rook in the game and he's just ready to really put white into questions. I mean, he's gonna really, I mean, white is really gonna set up himself in a big trouble. Let's see. Who is famous GM? I don't understand white plans with his king walk. Well, he's trying to set up some ideas over here. He's trying to make the things work out for him. But it's obviously not that simple. So that's one of the things. He's trying to get his king in the game. Because later he's gonna like just maybe use that king for the endgame, but it's hard to break through because black is very comfortable. The next question was, who is famous GM you played against and won? I played against Firouzja and I won against him online, so that was like a good one. In the title Tuesday, Thomas Krasowski, who will win in the match Me or Eleyah? Well, we generally didn't actually schedule any match. We are the best friends. We used to play one match where he actually won against me. It's like 2-0, but in the house variation. And we streamed that on his channel. Like there was a live stream. But generally speaking, like we might play some matches in the future, guys. Rapid. I would recommend Rapid, so you guys can follow up. Okay, Rook C4 here. Eleyah actually needs to find a slightly better plan to win this endgame, because now White gets some activity. So White is fighting. White is now getting the knight in the game, but it's still very tough to hold this, honestly. But Black has to be careful because of these two pawns. They are just generally speaking. They're just generally speaking a bit questionable. So, but as a friends, deep down, you know who is better. Do I know? To be honest, we are very close to each other. So it's changing over the time. For example, last year he was better, or 2 years ago he was better. Right now my rating is higher, but his blitz rating is like very good at the chess.com online. When we play each other, it's like it's a question. We have different results. So honestly, I'm not really trying to hide anything. It's not really clear who is better. Like, we are switching each other. Hopefully that switch will happen, and then we can get both international master titles. So that's something which I truly hope. So like somebody gets IM title overall. That's what we are looking forward to do. You burn a lot of time. You burn a lot of time. How you mean? Okay, I understand. Okay, cool. Wait a second. The clocks are stopped for a while again. In the stream, so we are just gonna refresh it, guys. Here we are. So Eleyah is up half an hour. But that's not the reason to relax completely. He needs to be careful here. He's much better, but focus is very important. The White King is active, so that is sort of something that can make the things a bit questionable. Rook d5 is a nice way. b5 is a nice way to keep going. King g6 we have right now. Okay, that's nice. Eleyah opponent is fighting. True. He's fighting a lot. They're both fighting. Like, in chess, it's absolutely expected these times, because we just have like few hours game, and every loss it's so painful. So that's completely expectable. Now we have knight c2 on the board. Potham knight easily rushing his moves. Well, the position is comfortable to play. I don't really think that he is too much rushing. I'm pretty sure that he knows the plans here. He can maybe spend a little bit more time, but it's okay. I'm a much faster player, so overall I would probably burn last time, which is bad, but he's fine. Eleyah opponent is fighting, and Eleyah is not that much rushing. The advantage is slowly going. Yeah. Lil Gabor now subscribed. Okay, thanks for the sub. Appreciate. So, I mean, yeah, that is something that is one of the things. That's always like a question: is if somebody is rushing. It's like a question. Like you can't easily say, okay, there's no right moment. Sometimes you have to rush. Do you think Eleyah will be a grandmaster? You can never answer that question because it depends on his personal goals. And if you ask me about the potential, yes, I do believe that he can become a grandmaster. But in order to become a grandmaster, you have to be fully committed to chess. And when I say fully committed, I do mean playing and analyzing, streaming and coaching, which we are both doing. It's not that simple, but that doesn't mean that we can become a grandmasters. The guys, the only move here which actually keeps white in the game for some time, it's knight b4. If he doesn't find that move, he might actually just put himself into trouble. So we are about to see. Fade decent. The advantage is slowly going. Well, he's fine. I mean, the computer and the evaluation bar, it's like going on, but we're about to see. What is your suggestion to me? And I'm 16 years and I'm now 2000. How I can improve more? Just play and focus on very important things. So try to get used into the stuff. Okay, guys, we have an update. So we got 97, 93, very bad move, and now we have taken 95. So why just play the horrible? He just didn't find the right plan. He didn't find the knight before, which would actually just complicate the game, but he just played like this. And now we have king f5 coming up. Eleyah is gonna win this for sure. Like there's no question. Here white had to play knight b4. Okay, I'm sorry. He had to play knight b4 to try to put some pressure. I'm not sure what exactly he was afraid of. Maybe he thought this is bad for him, but this would actually give him almost an equal position, which is just incredible. But instead he went for this, and now look at this, guys. This is so bad for white. So he's starting to lose his advantage. Yeah, like a minute or two ago that was the case, but now the things are back to where they should be, and now Eleyah is just very comfortable. This endgame, this is so hard to not win, because this knight is a monster. He's like standing here on d5, and he's just ready to perform in a very great way, like get rook h8, rook h3 ideas. It's gonna be a big question about the white stuff. So as a 16 years old and 2000 elo, how to improve more, you have to play generally against the stronger players and get their insights and ideas, and that will also help and make the things. Was that a brilliant move? Which exact move? Bishop e3, yeah, that was the greatest move. How much points Eleyah has in this tournament? 3 out of 6. So 50% if he gets the win, he gets 4 out of 7, which is okay. Then he has the last 2 rounds, and if he wins, it's good tournament. So Bishop e3 was the best move, because if he didn't play Bishop e3, let's say knight e3, if he didn't play that, then other moves such as f5 was also a possibility. But this one really shows, I mean, it really gets to the point where the knight on d5 is over comfortable with everything going on. I have been on Federal Cadet Rapid and Blitz, and I played a draw against Aldia Ransad. I am 2500. Congratulations, that's also the thing. Like, just keep playing against the stronger players and you will see a program. Was that a brilliant move? Yeah. Why is this winning? First of all, black is up a pawn. So he's up a 4 pawns. Like he has 4 pawns. There's a knight on d5. And secondly, look at this. I mean, black king is better, black rook is better. Maybe he's not that much better, but he's generally better. He's generally better. So that's why this is so comfortable for white. Because he's just generally speaking much, much better. That's like comfortable. The bishop on the bishop on e3, he's basically, I mean, he can be crying. It's so unfortunate. So, pretty sorry about it. Eleyah feels very comfortable now. His opponent is running down to 5 minutes, so that gives like a huge boost. Okay, we have bishop d2. White is trying to keep going on. He should resign. Actually, he shouldn't. He should try to fight. But rook h8 is a plan, and after that, I think it's going to be very difficult. The problem that white is facing is that there's no counterplay. Like, counterplay just doesn't exist. Counterplay is difficult. Did he play that? Yeah, he played rook h8. Okay, cool, guys. He goes rook h8, the best move. Honestly, I'm surprised how white just played knight e3. He just gave that bishop e3 idea on the board, and it turned against him. That's what can I say. Maybe white can play b4 and try to trade the pawns. Maybe he can play b4, but after b4, there's rook h2 or rook h4, like, or rook h3, everything. Just all of these moves are just like available. Ah, he goes a5. Now black can play rook h2, but I think he'll just stay here. Just grab this one and that's it. Like, the plan should be to collect the pawn over there and to collect another pawns. I mean, it's like black at the end black should try to get like two advantages in the position. Yeah, so he gives the check, which is also one of the options. Let's say king g2. There's like rook b3 now. Works perfectly. Simply, it works perfectly. So let's see. I'm very happy to see that he is confident. And probably what is Eleyah doing? I'm doing that by myself either. So Eleyah is probably also taking his time and just making sure to, while his opponent is thinking he actually put him into spending his own time. So we have rook h3, hit the king on e2. Now rook b3 is the move, and it's gonna be tough, very tough. The point is simple. This knight on d5 the best piece in the game. Standing here, like, remember guys, the knight was standing on a6, struggling for entire time. Now he gets to d5, and it's completely changing the perspective in the position. That is something which is quite important to know. Yeah, we got rook b3. He plays the best move. Let's see what black will do. It's a big question. He doesn't have so many options. He should probably try to trade the pawns to try to get something. But it's tough, it's over. Also, Eleyah has this pass a pawn. Simple win. Collect this one and play the endgame with the king, 2 pawns, the knight, and the rook against a rook and the bishop. That's his way to win this endgame. Okay, white takes, but now just take on b2. It will be enough. I'm pretty sure that he's going to do that very quickly. As we can see, guys. He's going for rook b2. Opponent also extremely low on time. For a Furious G, welcome again. For a long amount of time. Only 2 minutes for white and drawing this. It's very tough. It's very tough, honestly. Eleyah goes for he takes on b6 actually. Okay, so he decided to take on b6, which is also fine. I mean, this is just winning either. That's fine. I mean, rook c2, it's very passive. Black gets king e4. It's also fine. Maybe he thought, I mean, this is also completely winning. So it's not really the big deal, guys. It's winning anyway. Okay, white trades. And what is he planning to do? He wants to get king f3, I guess. That's what I'm guessing he might play. Probably king f3. He will activate his king. I mean, there's no other way to oh, he goes king d3. Now we have knight d5. And now push. That's a plan. Start pushing. He is not gonna flag him, unfortunately. Because they have an increment. He wants the pawn. Yeah. Very nice way. Like in order for white to hold this one, he would require. It would be required for him to have any source of counterplay. However, his counterplay isn't just possibly gonna be the thing. No, he doesn't have a counterplay. It's so difficult. I even wonder, is this even winning? Okay, that's not good actually. Like if he goes king g4, then there's this and f5 and this should be enough, I think, because this can lead to f3 and now check and eliminate the key defender, which is a bishop. So it's gonna be done. I would say so. What do we have, guys? We have b4. What else? King g4. Yeah, he goes for that plan. He goes for it. He goes for this. Very nice. Eleyah is chilling out. Mm-hmm. White goes here, but this is it. And this is awesome. Okay, guys, as he's drinking water, I'm eating a little bit of sweets. So we have a very comfortable situation. Now he's pretty sure evaluating this. Well, I don't know how to say that in English. Roller, something like this. It's good, I would say. It's very addictive. Candy sticks, I guess. You mean on these sweets? I don't know. I'm not sure, honestly. He goes f5. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Eleyah's just pushing. Yeah, Eleyah doesn't care for the pawn. Great move. No, he played very well. From the middle game, from when he got the chance, he played very well. Glad to see that. There might be a micro chance for white only if black blunders. Now his time. He's running on 1 minute. So it's very problematic. Okay, he takes on e6. Now f3 wins. f3. Perfect. I'm just waiting for f3 and bishop e1. And now there's a check here. Come on, f3 is a brilliant. Ooh. f3 is a brilliant check. Knight d3. And very soon, guys, we are expecting resignation. Black is most likely going to win the game. Very soon. White is thinking. I think he maybe missed this knight f4 check. Mm-hmm. Let's see, guys. What do we have here? "15 seconds. Can white try? Can white try and make their own queen? That's his way, but I don't think this actually works because knight e5 is happening. Ouch. So now Eleyah is taking a little bit of time. Of course, he wants to evaluate this properly. He wants to make sure. He has a multiple ways to win, but can also bring the king here. It's like completely winning in a different ways. Knight e5 is disgusting. Interesting. Let's see. As I'm eating sweets, it feels like this is relax win. Knight d5, you mean, probably. Now he goes this way. Okay, he wants to go king f5, king e4. Yeah, 95. But now white has to find the only move. Oof. Well, apparently he still was winning. Now he blitzed this out. Wait, but why is this not winning? White has this move. And this is somehow holdable. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, guys. This is... I'm hoping for a win. But now... it's a little bit question. Bishop d1 is the only way to hold the position. So of course, Eleyah still should win this, but let's see. Let's see here. Thanks for the follow, I appreciate. The fact is he lost the lead. Yeah, that's the fact. Welcome to stream. But now he has the lead. Again, the fact is he lost the lead. That's a fact. 30-7-7. He lost the lead, but now it's a different story. I'm taking this water a couple of times. It's, guys, it's a very nervous, we have a very, it's not easy to watch this. Okay, now he wins by king d4. Now everything wins. F2 doesn't win. F2 is like a... It's like he's gonna make a draw here. Okay, he's gonna make a win, but here after this it's gonna be a draw. Let's see right now. What a game. In the last 3 minutes, we saw more than in the previous hour. Oof. Why would anyone ever go bishop h4? I don't know. We should probably ask Mr. Sulian Sweet, how do I pronounce that French name? Why he went bishop h4? Because bishop g1 was such an obvious way to hold it. Knight takes the pawn, wins. Kind of. But it's still holdable. Maybe he panics because of 2 seconds on the clock. Maybe, but that was the most logical way. Opponent's name means page or paper in German. Okay, that's funny, but now I think regardless of the opponent's name, the position it's very intense, guys, because he had no time left. Also, maybe we can call that like Eleyah didn't give him any source of time to think as well. Eleyah just played quick on his own time. Guys, I play faster than Eleyah do sometimes in these moments. Just make a move by even being up an hour on the clock. And that feeling of just knowing when you are completely winning, you just want to finish the game right away. That is something that, generally speaking, it's like, it's all right, but it's sometimes it can go on both sides. King takes the pawn wins. Yes, very simple. King d4 wins because now he gets this one, and then black gets two advantages. Like that. That's a way to win the game. So then gets this one and then push and push this one. So then he gets two advantages and it's gonna be winning. Knight takes the pawn. It's not the perfect thing as well, overall speaking. It's double-edged sword. Yeah, like true. Rush moves equal as blunders. That's correct. You should never rush the different positions. Okay, now let's see. We have a moose. Yeah, now he's winning. Okay. That's gonna be winning because now he's gonna get king f5, king g4 on time. He's gonna trap the bishop. Okay, guys. We'll have a win soon. This is no other way. It's gonna be completely winning. I don't see a way how white will escape from here. Ooh. Tough game. King f4 now. Now we have king g4. The bishop gets trapped and it's over. We are expecting the resignation soon. King c4, king g4, perfect. These guys doesn't want to resign. The clash at reach Eleyah. Okay. I need some help sometimes about some comments. Yeah, this is just... It's just gonna be... We will see resignation, I think, in less than 2 minutes, guys. That's my guess. Or even now. He's playing, okay? And now he keeps going. What? Okay, king g3, and yeah, it's over. Is he okay, he resigns the game. Okay, guys, we got the win. Eleyah got the win in the game. That's very nice to see. At the same time, the game was intense at the last hour. I hope you enjoyed. And I have to remind you that I think the last round, if I'm good, tomorrow at the morning, it's his last round. I will also be commenting the round. So come to watch as well. He won that very, very intense game, generally speaking. Okay. Thank you guys for being here. I'll see you tomorrow. And I'll be no longer streaming the next round, but the last round, yeah. So now Eleyah has 3.5 out of 6 or 4 out of 7. So his score just goes up, and that's nice. See you soon. Have a nice day. Bye bye.